Hey, hey, hey. Can you hear me there? Just want to make sure that everything's all good to go. So if you can hear me, go ahead and let me know in the chat. So I changed up my YouTube channel for the simple reason of what I was seeing being done online. And what I saw was a lot of people using different techniques and ideas to make money. To be a content creator, you have to have original content. And what I've been running across over the past year and a half are channels that will either, and this is both, this is across all the platforms. This is across Twitch. This is across Rumble. This is across TikTok. Any place you can stream and you are monetized. A lot of people are using other means to grift, you know. They are using their family, their children, the vlogging the birth of their children and everything. And I find that to be uh really not okay when you put your children out there to make money off of your children, and then you make a lot of money off of exploiting your children. To me, that's exploiting your child for pay. Okay. That's just my opinion. Now, it's okay for some to do it, hey, whatever floats your boat. But in my eyes, I think a lot of people's eyes, they see it as not a really good thing to do. Now, I follow a lot of channels. Now, some I don't subscribe. You don't have to be a subscriber in order to watch a channel. You can just watch, okay? You don't have to, if it interests you, hey, no harm, no foul, right? You can watch till your heart's content. But when we see things that aren't right and we feel that it's wrong, what can we do to say, hey, this person's wrong in what they're doing? Hey, they shouldn't be doing that with their child or with their family members or whatever. If you go on vacation and you want to vlog your vacation, hey, that's cool, because you know what? We all need a vacation, right? And maybe they're going someplace that we want to go to. And we're like, hey, that looks like a cool place. I'd like to go there too. That's really cool. They did that. But when you start attacking people, attacks are not okay in my book. Turning your YouTube channel and your YouTube content into hate is not okay either. And that's wrong. And so that was the reason why I decided to revamp my channel, because I was seeing a lot of things that were wrong. People doing things that weren't cool, And in my eyes, they lost cool points with me as a viewer, because if I'm viewing them, they are getting paid. They are creating a paycheck. Okay. Once you are monetized, every time an ad pops up, you're going to get ad revenue. Okay. Depends on the tier of ad revenues that filter down. Okay. If you engage a lot of people, your ad revenue goes up. If you don't engage a lot of people, your ad revenue goes down. So I just want to throw out a couple of YouTube channels out there and see if anybody watches them. I do enjoy, and I have been following this channel. I am not a subscriber, but I do like listening to this YouTuber because they're very insightful. They provide a lot of things that you can question, take it upon yourself, because technically we're all consumers on YouTube. We're consuming the content that people put out, right? So would it not be in our best interest, if we're the consumer and we're consuming this content, would we not ask questions, right? So, because I do enjoy this channel, I really do. And I have been following this channel back in the day when Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were in court. And this channel's name is That Umbrella Guy, Tug. Tug is funny. He is hilarious. I enjoy his content. And he basically called out some stuff, you know, and he's really good. And a lot of people don't agree with him, and that's fine. Nobody has to agree. Okay, that's the reason why debates. We can debate and say, okay, hey, yeah, well, I think he's wrong on this part, or I think he's right on this part. Well, my opinion is I think he's all right kind of person. Okay. Um, a lot of people dog him, and I really don't think that they should dog him. There's another one that I truly like, and that's Megan Fox, and she's a journalist, and she does a lot of things. Well, she did in the past, and which was with family court and things to that nature. She's really good too, and her and Tug do live together, and they go over a lot of different things. And so I don't see anything wrong with their channel. They are not using uh, what others would use. They don't use a child. They don't put their child on the screen. They don't put their family members on the screen. They don't engage rage baiting their audience to give money because of so and so is hard up on their luck or whatever the case may be. Those are the two channels that I mainly follow on a regular, I guess you could say, basis. There's another content creator that I was following way before COVID. Uh, and I'm not going to say this YouTuber's name because there's controversy around this YouTuber. This YouTuber, I want to say, is funny. Humor sometimes is off a little bit, I guess you could say, but it's still humorous. But there seems to be something that he's entangled in, and I don't want to really put his business out there, but he has become very well known. He does have over 730,000 subscribers and counting. He's pretty big. He's pretty big. And let's see. There's a couple on TikTok as well. I really enjoy when the people do rage baiting on TikTok. It's hilarious. I find it funny. I find it, it's like they did self-snitching, I guess you could say. They told on themselves that they were cheating the federal government on getting SNAP benefits, Section 8 housing. They went, and the whole time, for the last 4 years, they were bragging about all of this that they were getting, and they didn't have to get a job. They didn't have to work. They didn't have to do anything. And these people, they self-snitched on themselves. They called themselves out, and they got caught. So that's rage baiting, because there are other people that are like, you know, you're how old? You're 28 and you can get a job. So people that do that type of content, I really don't think it's okay. It is funny because they do tell on themselves, and then they get mad when they tell on themselves. That's crazy. That really is. It's hilarious. But I just wanted to put this out here. This is not going to be a long live. I just wanted everybody to get acclimated and to understand what my new content is about, because I've had a lot of time on my hands to research and dig court records, court documents, and perusing other channels to see what everybody is talking about. And there seems to be a lot of infighting with another channel that goes along with the big YouTuber channel, the one with over 730,000 subscribers. There's another channel that's attacking him, and I don't feel that that's right. And this other channel basically got themselves involved in something that they shouldn't. And they are embroiled in a lawsuit. And it's not just like county court, like where you go and pay your traffic ticket. This is in federal court. And when you involve yourself in something that you really shouldn't, you're going to get the repercussions that are due to you, be it good, bad, or indifferent. And here we go back to grifting. Here we go back. The one person who is embroiled in a lawsuit, and it's just not one person, it's one of many people, because a lot of people inserted themselves into a situation where they didn't need to insert themselves. And when you insert yourself into something that you really have no business being in the middle of, you really, really, really are going to seek the repercussions of it. The defamation lawsuit. So when we talk defamation, how far can you go and say it's free speech before it turns into defamation? Okay. They got themselves on hooked up and started talking smack about the big YouTuber with 730,000 subscribers. They were talking smack. I watched this channel. Oh yeah. And needless to say, I got burned. I got burned a big time. And that's another reason, is because people need to really pay attention to where your money is going. Okay? You really need to pay attention. I got burned. A lot of other people got burned too. And we can touch more on that in a later live stream or a later video. There's a lot involved in where I'm going with this. A lot of you haven't seen me for over a year, and I took a respite. Let's just say that. I took some time away, and I did some inner reflection and some inner thinking. And so while I was doing that, I started seeing a trend on TikTok, on Rumble, on Twitch, on YouTube. It's everywhere. People are going to have drama. And when you bring yourself into somebody's personal affairs, you're opening yourself up for attack. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. You really got to pay attention. And if they say, "Oh, I have the receipts, I'll show them if you want me to," and then the chat goes, "Oh no, you don't have to prove anything to anybody." Well, wait a minute. I donated money. I want to see the receipts. You can email me the receipts. Here's my email address. You know, you don't have to put it on public display, but you can email the participants who donated. But here's the kicker. For transparency, full transparency, to prove to the people who donated what you're doing and where the money went, you really should, you can redact a lot of information, like what form of payment you used. You can redact the whole account number of what they show, what, like the last four of whatever account methods you used to pay for a purchase. You can redact that. You can redact the location. You can leave the store name, leave out the address. You can do all of that, but you have to have transparency. So when you don't show transparency, to me, you just conned your subscribers. You just made money off of the back of those people with no transparency. Now, I'm trying to give benefit all the way around, but when you fail to do that one simple thing, one simple thing. You have failed your subscriber base. You have failed as a content creator. You have failed as being untruthful. You have failed as not being transparent. And you have failed, to me, in my opinion, you have failed as a human being by not being honest and not being, and another thing, by doing that, you're showing the person respect, that you respected them, that, you know, they trusted you enough to do this. You have to show respect. And I think there's a lot of respect lacking. This other content creator who is embroiled in this federal lawsuit, my opinion, does not have a leg to stand on. There's a lot of name calling. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of tit for tat. They go at each other's throats. One throws out a video, the other one goes live. One throws out a video, the other one goes live. Like tonight, this big YouTuber with 730,000 subscribers will be doing a live from 8 until 9 p.m. tonight. And then this other person who's one of many in this federal lawsuit, this other person will go live tonight at 10 p.m. And what this person will do is just throw shade back at the other YouTuber. So it's infighting. They're fighting amongst themselves. They're content creators. Content creators aren't supposed to do this. And it's hilarious. But if you think about it, it's one way to draw in the views. It's one way to draw in subscribers. It is one way to make bank. You're making bank off of the backs of the people who support you. Now, is one more truthful than the other? I'm going to say 50-50. And the reason why I say that is one provides receipts and one just talks a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking. Very little to show proof. They say this is the truth, but yet they have nothing to back it up. There was a retired attorney involved. This retired attorney, I felt, was not a good fit for the small YouTube creator. Exactly. Content creators should be building each other up based upon truth and not lies. Exactly. Exactly true. And that seems to be a problem. So this retired attorney came into the picture, and there's a lot more involved. Down the road, maybe my next live, I will go more in detail. And there's this retired attorney who, she basically didn't have a choice. She had to retire because she was facing disbarment. So she chose permanent retirement over being sanctioned and or disbarred. Okay, let's get that straight. There is this all happened in Florida, folks. There is a Florida bar complaint against this person, misrepresentation, and not disclosing that certain things were should not have been given for the truth. Okay. She created a hate-based website. And the one content creator who's in the federal lawsuit with the big content creator, she basically, they all followed one narrative. And I watched the one live where this retired attorney was a guest on this little YouTube channel's platform, on her panel, I should say. And the chick had a flipping mental breakdown. I mean, she melted down. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, and you have this person sitting on your panel because they had a meltdown over somebody making fun of their looks, over being given a crazy nickname. I was like, are you shitting me? Seriously. Wow. I thought that YouTuber vetted her shit. She didn't. She did not vet this person at all. She saw it as a means to generate more content, to get more people to her side. And it just turned into one major shit show, is what it turned into. And I said, oh my God, I'm like, that's crazy. You should always, always check backgrounds of people to make sure who you're having on your panel, on your live stream. And if it would have been me and this chick was on my live stream and she kind of like had that crazy mental breakdown, she would have been kicked off my panel and I would have blocked her, because to me, in my way, that's not good. That does not give your channel a good look. And there's always the constant deflection. This content creator deflects a lot, and that is her only means of shutting it down, I guess you could say, from being called out. And being called out in her lies is she'll throw a cookie out there to deflect, like, here, go fetch, you know. And it's like, why are you deflecting? Just come clean and tell the truth. Tell the truth, because in court you're going to have to tell the truth. There are screenshots, there are screen recordings, there is everything that can be used in a court of law. And trust me, it will be. And I hate to say it, but this chick's going to have to go back to her original content, because this was not her original content. Or she may need to revamp her channel and move on to something else. It's crazy. My mod knows exactly who I'm talking about. My mod inadvertently met this person at a grocery store in Florida. So my mod knows exactly who I'm talking about. Exactly who I'm talking about. And it's crazy. It really is. For I think next, maybe it's this week, will be a full year that this person has attacked this other YouTuber, all for the grift. You know, the money. It's all about the money. And content creators that will go and produce negative content and will say one thing and do another and not be truthful. It's all for content. It's not for the benefit of a good deal, of a good thing, to do something right. It's nah. I'm sorry. And as we go, we'll dig deeper. We'll definitely dig deeper, because I'm deeply concerned that a lot of people have been taken for thousands of dollars. And I mean thousands of dollars. And well, I'm glad. Yes, you know, your gut will never steer you wrong. Your gut is your internal compass. It will guide you in the right direction. And I think this little channel, I think, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And unfortunately, you know, it's crazy. It really is. But I do like that umbrella guy, aka Tug, and he's into comics. He's into things like that, and that's okay. You know, that's his gig. You know, so be it. That's what makes him happy. Hey, let him be happy. But you shouldn't be attacking other YouTubers and trying to take your little. At one time, I do believe she had like less than 1,000 subs, and she says, I need to bring this person on my channel so I can get to 1,000 subs so I can be monetized. And she did. And then overnight, she had 3,600 subs within a matter of 2 days. Can somebody make that make sense? I mean, can we please make that make sense? And it's just crazy. But, you know, if anybody has, if they know who I'm talking about, let me know, because like I said, this big YouTuber, I really, really don't want to attach his name to anything. But if you know, no. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And uh, and the controversy surrounding the federal court case, because there is a big federal court case, and I do have access to Pacer. Pacer is the federal court docket. You can go to all 50 states. You can check bankruptcies. You can check everything. All you have to have is a name. That's all you need is a name. That's it. Just a name. And you can pull up all the information. And I have access to that. I have spent a lot of money downloading documents and keeping them. So I do have that. I also have screen recordings. I have a lot of information. And the one thing I failed to mention is why this little channel got involved. It was all over a chest bump between another YouTuber and the big YouTuber. All over a chest bump. That was all. And you know what? To me, that is something you shouldn't get involved in. If the other YouTuber wanted to press charges or bring out a restraining order, that was that's on them. Okay, if they wanted to do that. But you know what? You don't really need to stick your nose in other people's business now, do you? Not unless you want to get involved and potentially end up in a lawsuit, especially in federal court. So then it evolved. It went from the chest bump incident with a YouTuber and the big YouTuber to a family. And so this person decided they wanted to set up donations for this little family in Florida. And come to find out, I'm kind of probably getting ahead of myself, but we'll review at a later date as well. Come to find out, things weren't promised. Okay. Apparently, all the donations went for privacy fence, went for Christmas, and the rest of it was supposed to have went for finish building a home. And there was a lot of money that was given. And there's been no production going on at the house. Zero, zilch, nada, nothing. So that's what my channel is going to be about. I'm also going to talk about more about the TikTokers too. I find them hilarious. Self-snitching. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. You have to do that. You have to be able to distinguish between what is true and what isn't true. And failure to do that can really disrupt your life and also drain your bank account. And nobody likes to have their bank account drained. I, for one, I don't, but I did. I got taken. And no, I'm not going to ask for my money back. That is a lesson learned. That is one subscriber less for this person, and less super chats, less super stickers, less everything. Okay. So we're just, living and learning over here. We got to live and learn, and that's what we're doing. And so I'm very, very cautious. I'm very, very careful about the only thing I would donate to is maybe to a church. Something to think about. That way I know the church is using the money to help other people. Or maybe I would donate it to a children's hospital, maybe to a cancer center for children, maybe for something like that. But no way I'm going to put money out hand over fist to somebody that I thought could be trusted, and they can't be trusted. And that's that. So, but anyway, this was going to be my first live, and it's going to, we're going to continue. And I'm going to peruse TikTok, and I'm going to look for some things. And maybe if I know that my channel won't be struck by mentioning this big YouTuber's name, maybe we can go more into it Exactly. Exactly. You got to do your research. You have to do that. You really, really do. Because if you don't, you could end up losing thousands of dollars, all based upon, I'm going to make sure that this child has a roof over their head, and then bam, your money's gone in their pocket, sitting in a PayPal account, still doing the big grift on their channel, bippity boppity boo, same shit, different day for this person. She really doesn't have any new content. Like I said, she will watch the big YouTuber's channel, and then she will base her content off of his, and it's just a back and forth is all it is, back and forth, tit for tat, you know? And what type of content is that? It's not being creative. It's not, it doesn't intrigue certain people. A lot of people get caught up in the drama. They love drama, but drama's not where it's at. Drama only lasts for so long, and then it slips away, it falls off. Court cases are settled, and then what have you got to do? You're going to go out and search your next victim. You're going to go out and search your next target, I should say, because I feel that that family was a target. I felt that they targeted them because that wasn't their original intent. But that's how it started, with a chest bump, y'all. Remember that. That channel started with a chest bump. And maybe next time I will be a little bit more informative instead of being a little bit shy with my information, I guess you could say. It's not so much that, it's just that I'm not going to share screen recordings with anybody. If anybody wants to see it, I will be putting up some information later on, probably tomorrow, and it will be in my post on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. But this is just what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of pondering, a lot of thinking, wondering what makes people tick, what makes them do this, what makes them decide that that's how they want to go, because they don't have a job, or they're too lazy to get a job, or who knows, they're using their mental disabilities, or their disability period, whatever it may be, as a crutch to grift people for money, making people feel sorry for them. That's not how this goes. No, you have to have content. And if your content isn't selling, well, then you have to do something to whip it up. You have to do something to change it up, make it inviting, make people want to listen, So with that, I want to thank everybody who did listen. And I hope to see everybody later. And be careful who you give money to. Thank you so much to everybody who listened. Thank you to my mod, Ghost to Godly Inspiration. I do appreciate you. Hit me up after the stream if you have time so we can chat. And with that, I'm going to say everybody have a great Sunday afternoon. Ta-ta, everyone.